I was debating today about whether I wanted to upload something else, like Guardian Tales. I've been playing that a lot. Also, the new, excuse me, Dragon Quest mobile game that's on beta. That might be something I do a lot of content on specifically. But Legends, they just won't leave me alone. So yesterday, I'm going to take you guys through this history of what's going on here for the last couple of days. And don't worry, we are going to cover everything, so be sure to listen all the way through the video, and when you guys finish, let me know what you guys think, what you think is going to happen, etc., because this might be kind of spicy. We're going to hit it from different angles, and then also talk about everything that I think is going to happen here, as well as the banner that was in this time slot last year. So if you are not very patient, you're going to want to be patient for this one. Anyways, subscribe, thumbs up, let me know what you guys think. So yesterday, they actually, let me take you back a little further. So they did actually tweet this out that we're going to be having a broadcast on the 13th. So there's that. I'm assuming it's going to be an early morning one. I'm not going to do this conversion from UTC to my PST, but I'm pretty sure it's an early morning one. And by the way, I typically am live for those, so stay tuned for that. So that's in a couple of days. Today's the 11th at the time of the recording, so there's that. In the description of this, people were asking about it. They say in the description of this video that the next one is going to be, the new character is going to be something a little bit different. So that's something that a lot of people are asking about. I wonder if I can pull that up here, actually. Yeah, people have been asking about that. So that's actually very interesting. This new character is different from the usual. Yeah, so that's interesting because what's happening here is what I think they're going to do here might be really cool. So, by the way, I believe those are community managers for Bandai. So that's pretty cool. They're crossing over with more of US or EU as opposed to just Japan. Typically, it's all Japan related. Anyway, so they say take a closer look yesterday on this Omega Shenron image. And this image does have DBL down here in the far bottom left corner, DBL and then a hyphen. Now, that is the naming scheme, or I guess not really the naming scheme per se, but the character organization scheme that they have in the game. For example, this Goku, like every character has, if you click on the character card when you are in your account, actually, obviously, it's in the bottom like right corner portion area. But anyways, every character has a naming scheme, or like the sorting for the character, an actual ID basically. So DBL, etc., was his. Now, the most notable thing I want to mention about this, excuse me, is typically, for the record, free-to-play characters get this DBL in the front before the hyphen, whereas summonable characters don't necessarily get it that way. They get DBL and then a number, and then a hyphen, and then some more numbers and stuff. So that's one thing that's of note. I think a free-to-play character is coming. I think it's possible. I don't necessarily think it's likely because, like I said, we're in an interesting time period. The anniversary is inside of a month and a half, for the record. So at the end of next month, basically. So we are in a period where in the next like 5 to 6 weeks, we're going to be getting anniversary, basically. I want to pull up another free unit. So here's Boo for another example, DBL-EVT. So they don't show us the EVT, for the record. They're not showing us that. And then on the Vegeta image, they're doing the same thing. There's no EVT on it, though. On the Vegeta image, they tweeted out this morning, right? They actually jumped straight to just the numbers. It's going to be over here. So here it is, 3-4 with a hyphen. So I'm assuming what they're doing here is it's all one thing. Actually, now that I look at it, I think it's all one thing. I think it's DBL 3-4. And then the hyphen is actually how you're supposed to interpret that. Now that I look at it one more time. So yeah, I definitely don't think it's a free unit. Yeah, DBL 3-4. I think that's what they're doing here. So yeah, it should most likely be a new character. But they're saying here there's something puzzling about this, right? They say make sure to take a closer look. They're hinting at this. Now, the thing is, if we get tomorrow a one of these for Goku, like, come on now. It's almost blatantly obvious what it's going to be if we get a Goku one tomorrow and they tell us the last like couple digits or whatever. It won't really matter at that point. It's like blatantly obvious. So let's just go ahead and rip the wound off, or rip the bandit off the wound, excuse me. So is this SS4 Gogeta? It's a very, 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 very like times 10 strong possibility, for the record. Now, what does that mean for the anniversary, right? If we're going to get the big hitter from GT that we've been waiting for there's still some other stuff they could do, like they could do the Spirit Bomb Goku here, they could do SS3 Goku. There's still a lot of stuff. They can also do some side character like Oob as well. Like, there's stuff they can do from GT, and also not to mention they can't retread existing stuff. Like, they can definitely go back and do that. They can go back and bring out another SS4 Goku, or they can do stuff. But what does that mean for the anniversary? Now, prior to last year's anniversary, basically in this same time slot, we got this banner. That was a release of obviously characters that people have been waiting for. Up to this point, people were waiting for Kefla. Yeah, Kefla's a year old this month, and she's still dominant as heck. Gotenks, you don't see that much, but he's still quite good. Anyways, so yeah, this banner came out last year in the same time slot, basically 421. Ha! Anyways, so there's that. So I think that they're doing something similar where right before the anniversary, they're going to drop a very popular character. Again, popularity here. But anyways, a very popular character that's designed to drain your stones. This is typical gacha, by the way, mentality. This is typical. They do this all the time across basically every gacha game I've ever played. Right before the really big stuff, they try to drain you and milk you and everything they can, right? So keep that in mind. And the banner is most likely going to last for a long time. It's probably going to wind up being a step-up banner, etc. Now, if it is Gogeta, and if it is something different from the usual, without trying to read too deep into the different from the usual context, one thing I would like to see is them actually really lean into something I've mentioned before in the past, and that is using either the duo mechanic, the assist mechanic, or even, I guess, technically Ultra, because Ultra has those special intro scenes, and I don't think they're going to drop another Ultra right now, for the record. I mean, I think it's possible for the anniversary, because they said that they take a while to build the Ultra units, but who's to say they didn't build multiple at once, right? But I don't think it's happening anytime before the anniversary, at least, right? Anyways, most likely the assist mechanic, though, where the characters can basically fuse into another character. That would be so interesting, so cool, and stuff like that. Like, if we were to get a Goku and Vegeta combo card, SS4, that if you click the main ability, they turn into SS4 Gogeta, which is essentially the same thing as just a transforming character. All it is a character swap. You know, it's the same thing that they do already, I imagine, with coding, with the transforming characters already in the game. So you transform, you get a new main ability. It's the same thing, right? So I never understood why they really didn't do that. It seems like it would be pretty easy to do, almost like a copy paste thing. Obviously not as much, but it's not like the assist characters are two characters at once all the time. The other character only pops in for like greens and rushes and stuff like that. So I would love to see something like that. That would be a little bit different, actually quite different. So that's what I'm thinking about when it comes to them saying it could be something different. Again, Ultra could do something similar, and have it be like an SS4 Gogeta, like the actual just SS4 Gogeta, but then like when you actually play him, or not play him, I'm not talking more like about a card game, when you actually start the match, right, and he's out there, obviously they can just fuse like they do on Fighters, for example. That Ultra basically stole the intro scene from Fighter type of deals. There's a lot of flexibility with that, so we could obviously see something like that, but I don't think that's coming right now. So this actually is quite interesting, man. Like I said, if we wind up getting a Goku post tomorrow, leading to on the following day a video and stuff premiering SS4 Gogeta, that would be interesting. Let's get back to the anniversary talk. So what could they wind up doing for the anniversary? I think if we get SS4 Gogeta right now, anniversary seems like it's going to be like Rival Universe, like or like Universe Survival Saga themed. Do I think it's too soon for UI, the actual UI? No, I don't think anything's too soon, for the record. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I don't think it's going to happen. But to be fair, the last one actually came out in November. Like, that's a solid amount of time. That's like 6 months, 7 months. That's a long time. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. But what about something like SSB Vegeta or like God Topo, right? What about Full Power Jiren? To be fair, Jiren probably would come out alongside UI, but what if it's Vegeta and Topo in like one setting, right? And a lot of people would be excited about that. Evolution Vegeta is pretty hyped for a lot of people, and Topo's pretty unique. It seems like that could be something that's on the table. I mean, just realistically, I have been able to predict their anniversary characters, and I like to take a little bit of pride in that. I've been able to predict, you know, on the channel quite often, and some of that is because I follow the breadcrumbs, and now a lot of people are starting to do it, and they're retroactively trying to act like it's always been a little bit obvious. When in the moment, I got a lot of speculation and hate, but it's cool. But if we follow the breadcrumbs here, they haven't really been sticking to one arc in particular, right? They've been dropping future stuff sprinkled in. They dropped LF Gohan a little bit before that. I'm not going to really find it in here, but they dropped LF Gohan a little bit before that. But they've been bouncing around. Like, we got Dragon Ball Saga stuff. We got movie stuff. We got, again, Gohan. We got Kid Buu and the Buu Saga in the excuse me, not anniversary, but 1,000-day theme that's just now about to end. It's been going on for forever, right? Like, there's a lot really kind of tying into what they've been doing, but it's all over the place. Like, it's not as easy or clear cut. and then we have these dudes randomly right here that are from technically filler arc, but they're categorizing them as part of the Future Trunks saga arc, even though they don't have the tag. They're from the arc, even though it's a filler arc in between. Whatever. That being said, actually, you know what? If they had said, "Oh yeah, let's give these characters Universe Survival Saga," because that's like right what's about to happen. That would be really good for these characters. They'd actually fit on a team better because that team has actually saga buffer, like the dogs and stuff, and the UI Goku I believe is a saga buffer, so it would work better in my opinion. But whatever. So yeah, long story short, if they don't do something like that, I assume Tournament of Power could be a theme. It could also be like a joint theme, like last year. But again, if they're going to drop, if they drop Gogeta now, what are they doing? Like for GT, if GT makes an appearance again during the anniversary, what's actually hype enough to be an anniversary representation of GT? Like seriously, what is it? Like I said, I think Oob's cool, but I don't think he's anniversary worthy. I barely think, by the way, the Tournament of Power stuff I mentioned is actually literally anniversary worthy. And this is the problem. This is the last thing I want to say. This is the problem with them effectively blowing their load at the end of last year. Because what they did was, they kind of like, to me, looking at it, I understood it. Because New Year's is the most hype time in Japan. This is actually where their most hype is going to be. Not their anniversary. This is where all the money's going to be. At New Year's, not the anniversary, because of a lot of different factors. That is why at the end of last year, around New Year's, for Black Friday, even though I guess they don't celebrate that in Japan, but for the end of the year, Christmas area, New Year's area, they decided, hey, let's drop Gogeta and UI. Up to that point, the two most anticipated characters, right? But the problem with that is, it's like, oh, well, we were maybe thinking they could be for anniversary, but obviously that's off the table, unless it's not. Unless they already getting reworked or redone, excuse me, repurposed. So we'll see what happens, man. But I think they've been doing interesting things, right? Because like, what if we are going to get like another UI, for example? They've been toying finally with repurposing the revival mechanic that was previously only for Cell for a very, very, very long time, and we're finally seeing that mechanic, added here. I really do think that any mechanic that gets added on a character will get repurposed for another character eventually, and again, that's happening here. And I've said it before, UI Goku, just on the topic, his unique gauge, like, I don't think that's going to stay unique to him. Now, that doesn't mean other characters are going to be auto-dodging. That's not what I'm talking about. But what if that gauge, like whenever it's at full, you got like a buff, and then after a while, it kind of diminishes that buff. Like, there are different ways it can use that gauge, but for the record, I don't think it's going to stay specific to him. Or maybe it does stay specific to Ultra Instinct characters, like UI Goku or like the Angels or whatever, that can do that Ultra Instinct technique. So, whatever. But I think it's going to get repurposed in the future. So, I don't know, guys. This could be quite interesting, right? This could be quite interesting. But again, if tomorrow we see a post for Goku, I think we all are going to know that it's going to be Gogeta related. It already, I'm already going to say it's Gogeta because it just makes the most sense, right? The SS4 Gogeta, or excuse me, Vegeta, pretty much confirms it, I think. So we'll see what happens though. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This one a little bit longer than I wanted it to. Started rambling a little bit, but thank you if you listened all the way through. I appreciate you so much. Stay tuned for more content. Let me know what you guys think. Have an awesome day, and I'll see all of you in the next one.